as I said, BBM, di ka Leni, okay? So you don't have to be nice and all with everyone. And Leni is not a public official right now. And Leni is Leni. Leni has her own thing. But again, going back to this, by the way, guys, please lang. Kasi ganito. Ito So nakita ko ito kanina lumabas after yung meeting ni Marcoleta at saka ni Leni Robredo. Okay? So, obviously, over the past 3 weeks, nakita natin Leni Robredo having pictures with all of these different officials. Let's talk about Leni kasi I keep on saying yung malumanay, mabait, and I'm just saying, Marcos is the commander-in-chief. He has to draw the line here. Binastos yung kanyang ama, binastos yung mga unang diktador, binastos yung Oh yeah, I'm being factual here. Yeah, dictatorship. Yeah, and so like I don't know, you're living in some cave and don't know what dictatorship means. But going back to these guys, and then be naman original, 'di ba? Let Lenny be Lenny, right? And then BBM, do your thing, be the president, be decisive, do something special. All right. Now, going back to this. So, may mga napasalita, sabi niya bakit ganon, she's meeting everyone. And ako naman in fairness, sabi ko nga, okay, fair naman tayo. When facts change, you'll also reconsider your perspective. So, okay, in fairness, because Sara is meeting everyone from across the political spectrum, then none of them can claim na, oh, Lenny's siding with them against the other side. Right? Kasi ang maging problema is Lenny, if just Lenny meets people from one side of the whole house of kasamahan versus house of team or then it will look like she is essentially counterbalancing. But if she meets people from across the political spectrum, then it's much easier for her to just openly say, hindi, wala yan. It's just statesmanship. I'm just being polite, civil. And as Lenny very correctly put it, it's not about the person. Ang usapan po dito is yung respeto sa opisina. That's perfect. That's good. Nevertheless, dito talaga ako naiinis dun sa mga ibang kaibigan natin. Alright? Na okay, napaka-sensitive to any kind of contrarian views, napaka-partisan, almost katulad na nila yung kabilang kampo. Alam mo na, I don't need to name names or use labels and all of that, di ba? At itong mga tao na inaway-away tayo ng ilang araw, may mga nag-unfriend sa atin, may mga nag-unfollow sa atin, as if naman I care, di ba? Parang, actually, lumaki pa yung following natin ng 2-3. But I didn't need that, excuse me, right? We were already like, I already had number 5 top episode in the Philippines on Spotify a week before all of that Sarah Lenny thing. But anyway, so there are all of these peoples who have yung mga inggitero, mga narrow-minded people, fanatic people, all of this, like all of this, lower kinds, essentially. So all of these people were making big issue about this. And then yung iba naman, I think, were genuinely, because they're emotionally invested, ganyan, they took it wrongly. At to be fair naman, ako naman, yes, I'm a bit abrasive on Twitter, mga other things, but intention matters. Intention, and my intention was very clear. Sabi ko nga, hindi ang usapin dito yung decency and the good intentions of the former vice president. No question about it. That's why I have all of this respect for the former vice president. But this is what I was warning about. So kanina lumabas ito. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but this is from a Twitter source na si Deus Ex Machina ba. Anyway, I can show you the original source. This is someone who always posts about data, surveys, pollsters. So very respectable person, very respectable source rather. So pinost niya ito after yung meeting ni Marcoleta at ni Leni Robredo. At kung titignan mo dito, this is exactly what I was talking about. Kaya nga sabi ko, even if disagree kayo sa sinabi namin, okay, now you want to put me in the same team as Trillanes, whatever, go ahead. But, I think for myself, he thinks for himself, he has his own thing, I have my own thing, right? I never questioned the decency or good intentions of the vice president. My issue was this, nagagamitin ng mga, alam mo na, gagamitin yung meeting niyan para, you know, para sa kanilang political interest. Isi-spin nila yan. Now, obviously, this is not gonna convince the kakampings and all of that. But remember, these people are running for national office. So ang market nila is much bigger. So they're projecting this to the non-partisans, median voters na hindi involved in any camp. So this is what I've been talking about all this time na dapat ingat ka rin, especially with yung isang team, Team K1, sabihin natin. Kasi talagang ngayon, dahil marginalized sila, dahil medyo alanganin sila, dahil talagang nahihirapan na sila, walang Duterte tumakbo sa Senate, they are gonna use any meeting with ma'am and try to spin it into something. So again of course, yung mga kakamping nga hindi maniwala dito. But remember, hindi naman kakamping based necessarily ang hinabol ng mga taong yan eh. Especially yung mga DDS ngayon, ang hinahabol nila ngayon is projecting strength to the non-partisan median voter. And that's a huge population. Alright, actually, there's huge part. I mean, based on some surveys, up to 40% of voters are non-affiliated. Or actually, even more than 40% of the voters are non-affiliated, meaning they're not invested in Marcoses, they're not invested in Duterte's, they're not invested in opposition or kakamping. So, a lot of these pictures, a lot of these positionings, right, is also for political consumption and also projecting strength, diba? So this is what I've been warning about. Kaya nga yung iba na nagagalit sa atin, I hope you understand. We're looking at weaponization of optics. We're looking at exploitation. We're looking at, diba? Just connect the dots. So ito, I if this is a wrong quotation, please tell me. But I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised because ito, according to this, again, please correct me if I'm wrong, but according to this, etong ano na, si Yumenat, sabi niya, reading from netizens' reactions on my brief and casual meeting. Oh, talagang uso na yung casual meeting ngayon, with former VP after my trip to Sipokot. Is it correct? Sorry. I now realize how really divided our people are. Reaching out to all our leaders can also be personal. Our ability to show our humanity beyond the realm of politics. How else are we able to exemplify the true meaning of statesmanship if you refuse to extend your hand to all who wants to grasp it? Talagang extend your hands to all who wants to grasp it. I believe unity always begins with a handshake. Yan, talagang, diba? Again, sir, correct me. Sorry if this was a wrong quotation. But what I'm saying, even if hindi totoo, even if this quote were not true, all right, I'm open to be corrected on this. Even if it were not true, katulad ng pinost ko noon immediately, yung mga trolls, queen trolls, yung mga propagandist ni Sarah, sorry, ng DDS, sorry. Sorry, of course she doesn't have any trolls. I'll just speak. They were openly trying to spin yung upcoming meeting or meeting with Leni Robredo to make it look as if meron na silang counter coalition against BBM. So, ako kasi, binabasa ko yung mga, fina-follow ko itong mga to, dinabate ko pa yung mga ibang walang iya dyan eh. Binubuking-buking natin yung mga kaewanan, kasyungan nila. You will know this stuff, guys. Kaya nga sabi ko, if you don't know proper political analysis, if you don't see the lay of the land, huwag kang maghanash. Alright? Huwag kang maghanash. Alright? Because kami, trabaho namin titignan lahat ng different components. If you only see one side of the elephant, you're blind. You don't know what an elephant looks like. We look at the full landscape. At sabi ko, medyo alanganin yan. Including knowing ano yung nagiging propaganda position. Now, you notice, there was one thing that stands out with the meeting with Sarah, which is walang picture na lumabas. And I will tell you what, I would not be surprised na kung may lumabas na picture and smiling and all of that, i-weaponize talaga ng mga DDS yan to make it look, again, not to convince mga kakampings, because kakampings will never vote. Genuine kakampings will never vote for the terms. But to project to the median voter, which is 40-50% population, say, see, mga Duterte, malakas pa rin kami. Bati nga yung ganyan. Lahat kami galit kay Marcos. Alam naman natin si Leni, You see what I'm saying? This is what we were, at least in my case, I was warning about. Now, Senator Trillanes speaks for himself on this issue. He has a different angle slightly. But for me, guys, for me, the issue was, even if maganda yung intention ni ma'am, even if this is about statesmanship and all of that, diba? Dapat ingat sa mga yan kasi talaga ano sila eh. In fact, that was also the criticism of me, and this is what I find extremely hypocritical dun sa mga ibang kaibigan natin na dilawan. Na back in the day, they attacked me right and left for debating and really exposing the kasyungan ng mga DDS by saying, oh, you're platforming them, oh, you're you know you're legitimizing them, normalizing them. And then now when I say actually be careful meeting Sarah at this point kasi gagaling nila biglang, oh, you're ganun. Yan ang ayoko sa mga iba dyan. Diba? Yan ang ayoko sa iba dyan. So, kaya nga sabi ko, don't be fanatic partisan about this thing. Be politically astute. Kaya nga ginagawa po natin itong mga analysis natin para magkakaroon tayo ng medyo clarity. Para medyo mahusay-husay naman ang pagbasa natin sa politika. Because politics is about optics, guys. Politics is about messaging and communication. Politics is many ways, but especially mga team kadiliman, kasamaan, gamitan ng mga to. Kaya sobrang dapat ingat ka eh. Kaya sabi ko ako, isip ko pag nakikita ko yung mga politika, ano ba dapat ng posture ko? Of course, you always have the option of not posting any picture or anything like that. But anong posture mo? I remember back in the day when Duterte days, absolutely I would never do that. I never do that. The farthest I went was do my Conor McGregor na ganyan, which is completely different, right? MMA fan ako, di ba? But yun nga eh. So, honestly, I'm really, really disappointed dun sa mga toxic, dun sa mga, yeah, honestly, syunga na walang understand. Yung mga iba na, hindi ko alam kung anong problema nila, yung gitara lang siguro. Na, they were attacking us for raising legitimate questions. Legitimate question. And for me, the legitimate issues, ingat lang. Kaya, nagpapasalamat naman tayo na hindi naman nag-release ng any picture. Imagine if there was a picture na smiling yung dalawa, tapos meron lumabas na press release na we had 45 minutes to 1 hour discussion. We discussed the entire state of affairs of the country. Talagang i-weaponize talaga ng kabilang team yan eh. Pero dahil sa, talagang malaking debate na nangyari, I understand, I was definitely in the minority on that, but I could also see from tens of millions of engagements and views that many people also silently agreed or could see my point, right? Kasi yun din eh, minsan maraming maingay dyan, pero actually minority lang sila. And that's why I feel encouraged kasi alam ko naman minority lang naman talaga yung mga ibang toxic dyan eh, di ba? I mean, imagine how syunga they're trying to cancel other people by just when just those people are saying ingat lang, pwedeng gamitin niya mga weapons. So this is the classic example I'm talking about, guys. Now, the reason why I didn't criticize when it's the whole team is because it cancels them out eh, di ba? Kasi kung minute mo yung magkabilang kampo na nag-aaway, then none of them can say you're siding with one of them. So it cancels them out. But if you only meet with one side, or yung one side lang maglabas ng magandang picture, ganon, gagamitin talaga yan. Kaya guys, political communications is everything. Is very, very important. Very important. Kaya nga sa politika, dapat magandang intention mo. You have clear convictions, but you also have to have good communications. Good communications is very, very important. So yun, kaya ang dami na naman nagagalit sa akin, etc. Ayan na naman tayo. Exactly, Exhibit A. This is exactly I was talking about. Buti nga walang picture and all. Dun sa isa at dami na react tuloy. So, vigilance lang yan. Vigilance lang yan. So, please, don't hate us for understanding the big picture. Kung medyo syunga ka, hindi mo makita mo, problema mo na yan. But don't impose it on us. Kaya sabi ko, you're not gonna force us to be silent on this issue. You're not gonna force us. You cannot suppress discourse. You cannot suppress us when we know we're right. And now exactly nag-prove na talaga na correct talaga yung warnings namin. But again, thankfully, Ma'am Leni's team, I think, did a very good thing around this, and I think the DDS saw so much backlash and attack and all of that. They immediately distanced themselves. And naalala mo yung letter pa ni Sara na defensive, uy, hindi kami desperate, hindi naman kami pumunta doon. So, the fact that they would say that means they were thinking about something before that. And then immediately nung nakita nila nagkaroon ng backlash at hindi mag-work yan, naging defensive sila or actually preemptive sila. So this is what I'm saying, mga kameta. You have to appreciate, okay, objective and proper political analysis. Hindi tayo angat bilang isang bansa. Kung hanggang lang tayo, kampo-kampo lang tayo, oversensitive tayo, snowflake tayo, uy, wag mo naman criticize yung yung wag ganon, guys. Wag ganon. I have criticized all administration from Pinoy to Duterte to BBM, but based on facts on the ground. Based on facts on the ground. And malayong-malayo naman yung mga ibang presidente kaysa yung mga ibang presidente. Pinoy had its own shortcomings, but it's incomparable to arguably the worst president we have had, which is Rodrigo Duterte. And now, even if hindi tayo necessarily sold on everything BBM is doing, especially on the domestic front, um, the fact of the matter remains that BBM has to draw the line, and Leni and other national leaders, kasi the it girl na si Leni, talagang everyone wants to go and meet her. And I think that's a very good signal. That's a very good signal na may pag-asa ulit na itong embers ng pink movement can be rekindled and revitalized. But dapat very careful. Dapat very careful doing that. And of course, that goes for all of us. That goes for all of us. That goes for all of us. Kaya lahat tayo, inisip din natin, bak bumit ng ganyan. So, even if yung mga, nobody like katulad natin, medyo ingat-ingat lang tayo, di ba? When we deal with politicians and all of that. So, ito yung context. So, I hope now you guys see where I was coming from. Again, I cannot speak for other people, but let me speak for myself. Yun ang sinasabi ko. In fact, if you bother to listen to what I was saying, if you bother to check ang dami kong mga vlogs, writings on this, you would have understood where I was coming from. So I feel vindicated by this. Honestly, even if this were not true, I won't be surprised they would have wanted to do it. So regardless, the argument stands. So I feel vindicated in a sense. But more importantly, I hope this serves as a lesson. Because kung ang mangyayari dito is, pag-criticize mo itong camp, ibabash ka ng big time, i-criticize mo yung isang ka, ibabash ka ng big, you're suppressing conversation. You're suppressing democratic discourse. And I'll be very honest about it. I always expect more from the genuine opposition. I always expect more from kakampings because I know that they are fighting for a more modern, democratic, progressive, pluralistic society. So kaya talagang nadismaya talaga ako doon. Unfortunately, it's not the first time. And then some of the people, may mga repeat offenders doon na every time may ganon, sasakyan nila, atakin tayo, whatever. But I don't know. I mean, guys, come on. Guys, come on. We have to grow up. And ganito na lang sa akin. Okay naman sa akin if may mali tayong ginawa, constructive criticize me. Okay lang 'yan. Objective respond. Pero I hope guys, even when emotionally you're not comfortable with what I say, remember yung election time, sabi ko, ito yung mga dahilan na hindi nanalo ang opposition. And then I nicely, politely said, of course, if you read my articles, November 2021 pa lang, sabi ko mukhang panalo ng unity, etc. Not because weak si Leni, but because mahirap nagsama yung dalawa solid north and solid south. So it's just basic arithmetic, no? And trapo politics, let's call it for it. I just hope you guys don't take it against me, diba? I mean, I'm doing my best here to be, to make this as light as possible. So please wag niyong hayaan na yung emotions nyo, yung attachment nyo to cloud your judgment on these issues. At the end of the day, if you have proper political analysis, kung naiintindihan mo yung pagtakbo, yung paano tumatakbo ang politika, ano yung mga dynamics niyan, the better chance for you to succeed in pushing for reform, in pushing for good governance. At kung we succeed in pushing for good reforms and governance, then ang laki ng chance natin na baguhin yung bansa natin in the best way possible, di ba? So we need to get the basics right, because if your analysis, parang ano yan my first course was medical sciences. I started in medical sciences. So the first thing you learn in any medical field is, before giving prescription, first properly diagnose anong problema. Because if you don't have a proper diagnosis of the issue and you give the wrong medicine, then you'll have the proverbial medicine that is worse than the disease, or the medicine that kills the patient. So diagnostics is very, very important sa politics also. And you have to have differential objective diagnostics. And then, you tether that, idikit mo yan dun sa mga goals na gusto mong mangyari sa bansa. So in a way, I really hope na this quote-unquote Marcoleta episode reminds people where I've been coming from. Kasi feeling ko talaga sobrang unfair na nangyari. Grabe. And then, hindi ko na pinatulan yung debate na yan. Hindi ko na binalikan because of, obviously, Lola was ICU, etc. And I said, like, you know what, forget about it. Another day, babalikan ko yan. But deep in my heart, I always knew I was right on that issue. Not because I think I'm great and all. No, I make mistakes. All of us make mistakes and all of that. Normal yan. But I just felt on that issue, unfair talaga. Sinisuppress talaga tayo. And more than that, that's bad for opposition. If you suppress objective voices that happen to be contrarian to certain line. Hindi ako nagpa-party line. I am my own party, okay? I only care about the national interest here, okay? I care about the realm, all right? The interest of the realm. That's where I come from, all right? So, yun lang. So, thank you so much again sa lahat ng mga nakinig sa atin. Sige nga, kahit yung mga nag-bash sa atin, okay lang yan, okay lang yan. Paminsan-minsan magkakaroon tayo misunderstanding, but I hope now nag-gets you na where I'm coming from. If only some people bother to actually read my stuff, go through my stuff, not be emotional, hindi look at my yabang or pa-cute or whatever, just put aside those superficialities. Just look at the content of ating character and argument. Then you will know where I'm coming from. On that note, maraming salamat. Thank you so much again for this fantastic discussions. As you can see, medyo puffy-eyed ako. I had to get some good rest. I woke up very early, mga 6 a.m. just to get some work done and all of that. So nag-power nap tayo dito, but I'll try to reset my body clock kasi almost 3 weeks na wala tayong matinong tulog dahil pabalik-balik sa Baguio, ICU ni Lola, all of those things. It's really emotionally difficult. I'll tell you what. And of course, I'm worried about a lot of other things. You know, my own life, my own career, there's so many things I'm thinking about. And naturally, I'm a warrior because you know that's how I'm made of. That's why I can think about all of these political scenarios. That's why I can think of lahat ng pwedeng masamang gawin ng mga tao or ganyan. It's just who I am. Thankfully, I'm trying to reset my body clock and better take care of myself. All right. So thank you so much, guys, for your love and support. And pasensya na lang. If minsan medyo, alam mo na, syempre, tao rin tayo. Minsan napipikan. Kasi you have to understand, you know, I have, what, a million, let's say, followers online, let's say, on different platforms. And sabihin natin, even if 5% of them comment to me, like that's 50,000 comments every day coming at me, right and left. So tao lang ako, pag bukas ko ng gano'n, gusto ko na biglang ganyan, diba? Siyempre tao lang tayo, diba? So minsan maybe I also overreact or minsan medyo kanina munting nag-friendly fire na naman tayo, diba? And you know, I do live. I don't care. Like people are just insulting, comment, I just go like that and then patola, ganun. Socrates is my idol. You go into the middle of the agora, engage, patola, discourse, debate. That's who I am. That's what a pure philosopher does. Salamat, God bless, and talk to you soon.